Welcome! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerica, and you can call me Jer. As you have seen in the title, and I guess the reason that you've clicked on this video, I have added fish. You can't see anything right now. I'm looking through the viewfinder, and you can kind of see that there's a fish. There is fish, I swear. I swear there's fish. But, I took some videos adding the fish and a few other things, and we're gonna react to them together. And just like close-ups and stuff, so you can actually see the fish, because right now don't really see much going on in there. Lots of plants basically. So yeah, let's get into the video. So the first video I have for you is not fish that I got, because my tank is too small, unfortunately. Though I would have loved to get goldfish. But I took a video of goldfish at the pet store that I got these fish from, and my gosh, they're so cute. They're like fancy Aranda fish, which, I would say about 5 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, I actually kept Aranda goldfish and bred them a little bit. Not like on a mass scale, but I did have success breeding them. These are the fish that I'm referring to. Just look how plump they are. They're so cute. And that like growth on their head is called a wen. And oh man, just the way that they swim around with their cute little bums. So cute. I love that. I love those fish so much. But they need really big tanks. As you can see, I don't unfortunately have the amount of water volume to support that type of fish. At least not right now. So this is basically just acclimating them to the water temperature so that it doesn't shock them when I put them into the tank. Because I'm not sure what temperature that the fish store keeps them, plus I had to, the transport of taking them home. So yeah, I just acclimating them to the water temperature so that when I put them in the tank, it doesn't shock them, because fish can be very sensitive to even slight temperature changes. So you just want to float the bags in there for a little while and make sure that the water temperature in the bags and in your tank are pretty close. But yeah, so I got a half moon Betta and 12 green neon tetras. You can see them swimming in the bags, very active, healthy, doing really good. I think I took this video, yeah, okay, they're still in the bags. I took so many videos, I don't know which one it is. Okay, so yeah, just showing you that there are still shrimp in the tank, and the fish are still in the bags. Okay, so I'm adding the green neon tetra right now. Yeah, so the green neon tetra are in the net. I'm adding them. This is their first introduction to the tank. Eventually they all find each other again, and because they're a schooling fish, so you have to get at least, people say 6 to 10. I like to range on the side of at least 10, because it's better for their quality of life to have a somewhat large school of them. So yeah, I got 12. And then adding the Betta fish. So cute. He's like, I don't know how to escape. Let me out. I have to like slowly, gently. It's like, and that's so wonderful. If you know anything about Betta fish, you know that if you ever see them in the store, they are always in these pitiful little containers. And where, yes, most pet stores, I want to be gracious and say most pet stores that take good care of their fish will change the water every day, because just a little cup. So they have to be like on constant maintaining of their water parameters, because ammonia spikes can happen so quickly in such a small volume of water. But even providing for them and making sure that their water quality is good, it's just sad. It's so sad to see a fish in such a small container. Not only is this probably like the first time that it has this much ample space to just swim around and explore, it's probably the first time that it's ever interacted with other fish. You know, it's always been on its own. It doesn't, I don't know. It makes me feel really good to be able to give him the best quality of life I possibly can. And he has this whole tank pretty much to himself. You know, the neon tetras don't take up much space. They don't bother him. Same with the shrimp. They don't. So it's really good. I feel like he's living his best life. And that moment that he was introduced to the tank was probably a lot of firsts for him. So that's, I don't know, makes me feel good. And then, of course, some videos of just the introduction. You know, all the neon tetras swimming around, exploring. So cool. And to clarify, they are green neon tetras. And then you can kind of see the Betta in the background, just kind of hiding amongst the leaves. I made sure that there's lots of live plants, lots of hiding spaces, lots of like wide leaves, because Betta fish really like to lay on things. A lot of the times their fins are very heavy. Because they're bred to have such voluminous finnage, it's just heavy on them sometimes and hard for them to swim. So I don't know, they like to have perches and places that they can just sleep and relax. That's something that they do. So I made sure that lots of these plants are suitable for naps. He has some of the nicest coloring, like beautiful, beautiful coloring to him. I saw him and I was like, yes. I also made sure when I was at the pet store, and you know, they have so many different types of Bettas and colors and just so much variety of Betta. But I also made sure to check, like, you know, I think I got a pretty docile Betta. Like, basically, how you check that is when you go to the store, if you pick up the container and you're looking at it, or you move your finger around, a highly aggressive Betta is going to flare up, it's going to look big, it's going to thrash a little bit, it starts getting angry because they were bred to be aggressive. Putting a Betta into a community tank is problematic in the sense of Betta's personalities can really range from, you know, calm and chill to highly aggressive and just wants to attack everything. Like, so knowing that, I think that I picked a pretty mild-mannered, docile Betta. And so far, I think it's been a little more than 24 hours. And he doesn't really bother the neons, he doesn't bother the shrimp. He's just living his best life. He swims around, he's just enjoying it. You know, he's not being a bully, he's not being like aggressive towards any of the other tank mates. And that's a very good sign in a community tank that's based on a Betta fish. Okay, so there he is, just kind of, see how he's kind of laying on the ground. He's not sick, he's not unhealthy. It's just what they do. They like to just chill. I think this is one of the first times that he's actually like acknowledging the neon tetras. And again, he kind of went up and like checked them out, but he's not chasing them around. He's not trying to eat them or attack them. He doesn't see them as a threat. It's just something to have in the tank so that he doesn't feel alone. you know? I don't know how fish feel or the depths of their emotional range if they feel lonely, but it makes me feel better, I guess, to know that he's not alone. That there's something in the tank for him to be engaged by, and I don't know. I feel like it's a better experience to have other things in the tank that engage him, that he can look at, just make things more exciting, I suppose. Here you're getting like a really good idea of just how beautiful his coloring is. Like, some parts are like a marble with a bunch of different reds and blues, and then he's also got a lot of white through the coloring. It's so beautiful. It's really, really nice. And then he's got a lot of like black dots just on his forehead, and like I said, when I saw his coloring, I was just like you are beautiful. And then I was so lucky that, you know, he seemed so chill. He wasn't bothered by the fact that I was looking at him or like moving my finger like a little wormy. He just was, I don't know, he was just very relaxed and mellow, and I was like, you're the one that gets to go home and live like a king in your 20-gallon tank pretty much all to yourself. Like, he has no other tank mates that are any sort of threat to him, that are any like competition to him, whether it's food or territory. Like, he is the king of this tank. Another thing is that my cherry shrimp, so one of them was bearing babies, because I have little babies everywhere, and they are so tiny that even when I zoom my camera lens in, it's just blurry. Like, it to really grasp how small they are, you really have to compare them to the size of the substrate that they're on. Like, each pebble, each little black piece of substrate is like so tiny, and they are so tiny in comparison to that. So they were definitely just born or hatched, or however that works. But everywhere I look on the bottom of this tank, they're scattered all over the place. That's a good sign that my cherry shrimp are not only healthy, but they're breeding. Adding numbers. It's always good. And here is a very close-up, clear, of an adult cherry shrimp eating some frozen brine shrimp that I have de-thawed and fed them. I think that was their first meal, was I fed them frozen brine shrimp, which is really good for them. And I haven't fed this tank brine shrimp yet, so this is the first time that the shrimp are even experiencing brine shrimp. I mostly did it for the tetras though, because I have shrimp food and I have betta food, and the betta and the shrimp seem to eat those just fine, but the neons are so small that it doesn't fit in their mouth, and I was worried that they're not eating, so I made sure to feed the first feeding of brine shrimp. That way everybody gets a meal. You know, nobody's left out, everybody gets a meal, everything's okay. Kind of go from there. One of my assassin snails is supposed to be, which is supposed to be keeping the, what are they called? Pond snails, bladder snails, pest snails, basically. I had an outbreak of pest snails, and they were everywhere. They're still kind of everywhere, but I hope that the assassin snails are kind of like doing their job and getting rid of them, because so annoying. Oh, here's a front view of cherry shrimp, and then they're like fighting over the brine shrimp. I want your brine shrimp. It's like, no, it's my brine shrimp. Fuck you. It's like, but no, share. And the funny thing is, like, they're fighting over this one brine shrimp. there's brine shrimp all over the ground. Like, it's not like that's the only one in the tank, but they're like, you have it. I want the one you have. This one pretty much just to post as like a short video. But again, just the colors, it's so beautiful and clear. Like, I took this video once all of my bedroom lights were out. It was nighttime, it was dark, so the only light was coming from this tank, so there was no glare. And oh man, it turned out way clearer. So I know if I ever want like super clear video of my tank, nighttime, I have to do it at nighttime, because you can't see, but I have a grow light for my plants that's always on, and then I keep like the room light on, and then the window, it's a lot of light. It's directly in front of the tank, so anytime that I'm trying to make videos, it's just so much clearer. But yeah, those are the videos that I took to share with you guys. Basically just, you know, acclimating them, putting them in the tank, their first experiences in the tank, how they're interacting with one another. And as you can see right there, I have not named him yet. I'm still thinking of names. If you want to comment a name, I will put it into consideration and maybe I will pick your name. I don't know. I haven't named him yet. I have no idea what to call him. Such a pretty boy. But as you can see, he is so chill. He is just doing his own thing, swimming around, living his best life. And that makes me really happy, because that was the goal. That was the goal of this tank, was to get a betta fish, make it as happy as possible. Save it from one of those terrible containers that you see at the store, and just give it its best life. Because why not? I feel like I've done that so far, so I'm very happy. And the like month and a half that I had to wait for my tank to cycle and be ready to actually add fish safely is now worth it. Because I cannot stress to you, especially if you don't keep fish or you're not really interested in fish, if you have a tank and you set it up, it takes so much patience to wait and wait till you have, you know, that perfect balance of good bacteria, where you're checking your water parameters and there's no ammonia, there's no nitrite, there's just a little bit of nitrates. And then, you know, I can finally add fish. And it's been a long process. It feels like I've had this tank pretty much empty for a long time, you know. And then the introduction of the shrimp kind of gave me something to do and look at, which is really cool. I would watch them eat, and like I said, they had babies, which are so small that it actually strains my eyes trying to look at them and focus on them, but it's still cool. You know, you're still creating a confined ecosystem and balancing it. It's really cool to me. And so far I've been doing really well. And they're all happy. Yeah. So I think this video has gone long enough. I hope you enjoyed it. Anybody that has followed the process from the beginning, I hope you are happy with the fish that I ended up stocking it with. And again, gotta name this guy. I have no idea what to call him. He's very pretty though. I think that's what I've been calling him, just pretty boy. He's such a little pretty boy. Because he is. He's like striking colors. Love it. But I am rambling, so without further ado, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace, love, and Wi-Fi.